All right, folks, there's been a lot going on in the past couple of days in regards to silver and its price, so we're going to cover that all in this video. If you stack silver and you want to be updated on a daily basis, then make sure you click subscribe and click the bell. So we're quickly going to go over what the actual price is doing right now and what's affecting it, but then we're going to jump into another article, Big Silver Rally of 2024 Stalled, Why and for How Long? Now, the naysayers, the speculators, are going to jump on this and be happy, but this is actually a very positive article. It's actually still very bullish. Now, there's a related article that they posted 10 days earlier titled Silver Price Ready to Hit $50, Must See Charts, that we will also go over, because you can pick and choose what you want to read, what you want to cover. The naysayers are going to cover more of the negative. The the bullish, the ones that are stacking, will cover more of the positive. My job is just to cover the news. So I'm going to cover it all and look at this from an unbiased perspective, because at the end of the day, all information is just important. Is just as important. So without further ado, if you wanted a safe, reliable, cheap place to purchase precious metals, then email me, slayer@milesfranklin.com, or call me 330-485-6172. Now, let's get started. Silver price analysis. Silver slumps amid hawkish Fed comments, high U.S. yields. Silver's price drops to $29.49. Posting minimal losses of 0.38%. It's crazy that we're reading, one of the key points is silver price drops to $29. I've been stacking for almost a decade, and the average price for me has been $15. The average price of silver for the last 10 years has been around $15. I remember vividly the first time silver broke through $21, the July 2016 high of $21 silver. I remember that because it was the first time that happened from me making daily videos, and it was insane. And now we're talking about dropping down to $29. So if you're someone that got desensitized to higher prices, you got to step back, because what seems low to you might actually be very high to someone else. But that's irrelevant, because what really matters is where it's headed. If you're investing into something, you're investing for you're looking at something not its value now, but where it can go. You're invested into it. So looking forwards. Just like if you're invested into a TV show, or invested into, a person or anything, you're looking forwards. So right now we know that silver will go much higher. It already broke past 12-year highs. So it's only going to go up, especially as we head towards the end of the year with the October huge BRICS meeting, which is going to be very important, but then also the November election. Now, if you think all of these things are going to be bearish for silver, you might want to look again. Now, this is all just an opportunity to get it for cheap. So, first support level at the 50-day moving average near $29.01. If silver buyers clear 30, the retest of the year-to-date high of 32.51 is possible. Silver's price edged lower and posted minimal losses of 0.38% on Monday, elevated by U.S. Treasury bonds, and that's yielding against Fed hawkish commentary undermined the gray metal. Therefore, silver trades at $29.49 at the time of writing. And now we have a price analysis, the technical outlook. This is stuff I just quickly breeze through. I'm not a chart guy. If you are someone that does that in marginal trades, then you guys can go over this more yourself. But I just, I got to briefly cover this stuff because it's not really important, honestly. I don't care what silver's price is going to do for the, because I'm not selling in 10, 20, 15, 20 years if I ever do sell. So I don't care what the price is doing right now, because what matters to me is what the price is going to be when I potentially sell. Silver is going to do a lot in the next 20 years. I mean, it was only about 10 years ago when silver was $50, and now it's more than 10, in 2011. But you get what I'm saying. I'm looking at this from a much bigger perspective. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, and if you think it is, or if you're expecting it to be, you might want to, once again, take a step back. Now, silver price analysis, the technical outlook. says the gray metal is neutral to downward bias after hitting an 11-year high of 32.51. Since then, the pair retreated towards an area near the 50-day moving average around 29.01, which is the first support level. So yeah, there you have it. That's right now what silver's doing. We could be retesting the year-to-date highs if it breaks past 30, so keep an eye on that. It's around 50 cents away. Now, the big silver rally of 2024 stalled. Why and for how long? The big silver rally stalled because speculators were unanimously long. The market does not reward consensus trades. The silver market will require less speculators before moving higher. And that is a good point. And that is also why I hate speculation. If you've been watching my channel, I hate that S word. It drives me crazy that something that should be and has been valued for thousands of years for the actual metal, the ratio it comes out of the ground, supply and demand, the fundamentals, is now being affected like a stock market, like the stock market, or like a cryptocurrency, more off speculation. So if, there's drama that comes out, or if people start fearing, uncertainty, doubt, worrying, that affects the price. That should not be affecting the price of silver to this rate. It will always to some extent, but leave that for Bitcoin or something. We're talking about physical metal that is needed as we are setting record-breaking demands, and a diminishing supply. Why is speculation playing such a big role? Now, we also have to incorporate manipulation as well, which none of these articles ever tend to mention. But, there is a lot of speculation, and rightfully so, I guess. We are living in crazy times, and people are very, very worried, but it shouldn't affect the price as much as it does. So silver experienced a solid bull run in the period March to May of 2024, right before hitting silver's first bullish target of 34.70, the big silver rally of 2024. Why and for how long? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as well. Just to be clear, silver will hit $50 sooner or later. The question is, when exactly? It's a matter of when, not if. And that is the part that a lot of people don't get. Consensus trades never end well, also not in silver. If anything, the market knows very well when the majority of participants are positioned in one direction, consensus trades never end well. Silver experienced an excessive number of speculators betting on the long side in the silver futures market. This, as said in our premium silver alert since April, would prevent silver from moving much higher in the short term to medium term. And that's exactly what happened. Consensus long positions in the silver market, especially by speculators, resulted in the big silver rally of 2024 stalling. Now, I think there's a little more going on behind the scenes than just that, but, there's a lot of different variables and a lot of unknown variables that not are only occurring and have occurred, but will be occurring in the future. I just made a video about the passing of Ted Butler, and he is very heavy. He dedicated his entire life on exposing COMEX corruption, and one of the biggest takeaways from all of his work that he did for, the majority of his life was mentioning how, yes, there is manipulation going on, but this will not be able to last forever, given that silver's value is intrinsic. It's the metal inside of it. And with supply and demand fundamentals, low supply, very high demand, it will eventually push the price up. And if you want to talk about deficits, we've had record-breaking supply deficits the past 3 years and over 500 million ounces in the red just the last 3 years alone. And it's only going to get worse as we advance digitally. Silver speculators, here we go. Actually, there's a part up here. The historic 2011 silver rally was without speculators' participation. So one thing was clear, there was no consensus long setup among speculators. While we strongly recommend, okay, come on guys. So it suffices to say that speculators should not be too enthusiastic for a sustainable silver price rally to occur. The 2011 silver price rally is one of the many illustrations of this market dynamic. Silver speculators are giving up, a lovely development. Speculators finally are giving up. Finally. They have been hit undoubtedly during those days with larger red candles. Remember, this is a futures market indicator. The leverage is insane when holding futures. So a 5% one-day decline has tremendous effects on a portfolio holding silver futures longs or silver long futures. The chart below showing positioning of speculators in the silver futures market makes the point. The red annotation is the percent that really matters. And yeah, I mean, that you could see right there, that's proof. I guess, the question whether the big silver rally of 2024 can continue or not, we believe the answer is yes, but not yet, as explained in their premium silver alert. It's too early to get excited, but speculators leaving the arena in the prerequisite for silver to move higher. Lovely development, likely just the beginning. There will be a point in a few months where speculators will be hating silver, which is when we'll love it. And that goes with the saying I always mention, silver stackers will get the last laugh, and patience is a virtue. Especially if you're newer, this is an opportunity to get it for cheap while it is still cheap. A lot of people, less than 1% of the population owns precious metals, owns silver. There will be a lot more in the coming future, but most people will be buying silver when it's $50 to $100. Most people buy it after it explodes because then they have the validation and the confirmation. The smart ones get in before the curve. There's a saying, if you want to be a successful investor, just do the opposite of what the main, the normal type of investor does, because they will buy high and sell low. The point is to buy low, sell high, right? So just do the opposite of what everyone else does, and you'll be successful. So it's too early to get excited, but speculators leaving the arena is the prerequisite. So ultimately, silver in 2024 may be stalling, but bullish continuation can reasonably be expected later in 2024. Exact timing not clear, and certainly in 2025. And I agree. I've always mentioned I think silver will, quote unquote, skyrocket, if you want to call it that. That's a very loose term because skyrocketing to me could mean $50 to $100, but for someone else that they might be thinking $500. So I'm just talking about triple digits when I mention that. Like $100+ is considered skyrocketing, and trust me, if it goes to $100, then the sky is the literal limit, because who knows, by then what would push silver to $100 could push it much, much higher, as the natural value of silver would be getting cut loose. No matter who says that 1 ounce coin is worth what is irrelevant, because the coin's values the 1 ounce of silver inside of it, not the price tag. And once you can take away the price tag, which is the manipulation and the regulated pricing from central banks and from the COMEX and LBMA, then you see silver's true value start to shine. And I always mention by the year 2025, 2026, I've been saying those 2 years for years now, since like 2019. That's when I've been saying 2025, 2026. You guys can go back and watch it. I'm not just saying that right now because we're almost there. Like a lot of channels, it's almost about to come. It's right here, right here. No, I've been letting people know for years that silver wouldn't be doing much until the year 2025, 2026. Now, there's a lot of unknown variables, but for me, going by the fundamentals, that's what makes sense to me. By then, we will be deep enough into the Green New Deal. We will be deep enough in this new digital technological era where the silver shortage will be undoubtedly affected and silver's true value will shine, where big tech and all these other companies will not be able to get the silver they need for the said technology with solar panels, 5G towers, electric vehicles, etc. Silver, the N-type solar cells now, military, especially with all these wars going on. Then you also have AI booming now, and silver's used heavily in AI chips. By then, I think it will actually be affecting the markets. Right now, it hasn't yet. They're getting aware of it, and the smart ones are getting sources like Elon Musk, but there's going to be a lot of companies that still haven't. And when those companies are affected and it starts to really affect, that's when silver's true value will shine. But we're not there yet. We're already setting record-breaking supply deficits, and they're saying for the foreseeable future, it's going to keep happening. And I think by then, by year 2025, 2026, I think by then, no type of manipulation will be able to stop it, because we need the actual metal. Manipulation can't affect something that's silver, because silver's actually useful. It's actually needed. That's more important, when it's actually needed. You could manipulate something all day if it's like a crypto where it doesn't have real world uses physically, but silver does. Gold doesn't even really to that same extent. Now, gold is a tier one asset and gold has benefits, but when you're talking about in terms of silver, that's where silver's true value will shine. And I think by the year 2025, 2026. That's just my takeaway. I've been saying that for years now, and a lot of times I'm right. I'm not saying I'm always right. I mean, I predicted Bitcoin in 2016. I was telling people to buy Bitcoin when it was $800, and it's up to $65,000 right now. I made a lot of people rich. I mean, I had, a lot of people hated me for talking about Bitcoin, but now those people probably hate me even more because they didn't buy it and kicking themselves in the butt, wishing they did. And a lot of people are thanking me for it as well. Regardless, it doesn't matter, because now we have another opportunity if you did miss the Bitcoin boat. Now, on May 17th, 2024, silver staged a secular breakout. It invalidated on June 7th, 2024. Silver's chart remains ultra bullish. Silver can and will hit $50 an ounce, even though reaching this target may be postponed. So they even mentioned, 10 days ago that it could be postponed. Can silver hit $50 an ounce? Yes. Yes, it can, and yes, it will. It will. It's hard to believe that silver was trading at 24 when they initially published this article in January. And now it's up, $5, $6. And if you think that that's all it's going to do in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, I mean, come on. People are thinking from too much of a short-sighted mind state. You have to step back and think further ahead. So look at the 1980 silver rally. In part due to the actions of the Hunt brothers, the price for silver good delivery bars jumped from $6 to a record high of $49.45 per troy ounce. January 18th, 1980, representing an increase of 724%. The highest price of physical silver is hard to determine, but based on the price of common silver coins, it peaked at about 40. While silver price rally to 50 may sound like a significant increase, the reality is it's neither exceptional nor extraordinary, especially since you're looking at 50, you're comparing it in dollar bills, and we know the dollar's purchasing power is declining, so it's going to take more dollars to buy said thing. Just like gas is more expensive, it takes more dollars to buy a gallon of gas. It takes more dollars to buy each thing, so why wouldn't that also fit suit with silver? It takes more dollars to buy an ounce of silver as well. So it's not really silver going up, it's the dollar going down. Think of it that way as well. Silver breakout confirmed. Silver can and will hit $50. And if you think about silver being a direct negative correlation to the dollar, this is literally the most proof you can have that it will go much, much higher. Silver and the dollar are there's a direct negative correlation. When the dollar index is high, gold and silver is low, and vice versa. So if we know that there's a direct correlation to silver and the dollar, we know the dollar is inevitably going to collapse, then what does that say about silver? It's going to inevitably rise. It's not like the dollar is going to collapse and silver is going to collapse with it. That doesn't make any sense, because silver is what people turn to when they don't trust dollars. So the only way you could say silver, then this is a good point, the only way you could say silver will never do anything is if you think the dollar's going to exist and last forever. And nobody in the right mind thinks that, as the dollar's lost 98% of its original purchasing power, or $35 trillion in debt, handing hundreds of billions of dollars out to other countries. And do you really think that 98% is just going to go to 97%, we're all of a sudden going to fix it? No, it's going to go to 99%, then it's going to go to 100%. Every fiat-based system lasts around a century. The dollar is the longest lasting one, around a century though, and it's not going to be too long until it does go. It could be very, very soon. So if you actually think the dollar is going to last forever, then you could have a valid point of saying that silver won't do anything. But if you genuinely think the dollar won't last forever, then you cannot say that silver won't go much higher, because when the dollar collapses, silver will be the money. That's what will be coming out on top. Stock market will drop down with it. It's like switching seats on the Titanic. Anything pegged to the dollar is going down with the dollar. But Bitcoin and silver, they aren't pegged to the dollar. I mean, it's just common sense, but a lot of people, I mean, I never even thought about wording it that way. I'm going to start using that. You know, I like that saying is if the only way you could say that silver won't do much is if you genuinely think the dollar will last forever. Because if you think the dollar won't, then that's proof that silver will. I'm going to start using that. That's a good saying. That's a good way to put it. Anyways, here's the supply shortage. You know, and the craziest part is not only is that saying I just said a very good example, but then also the supply and demand part of it. I just talked about the monetary side. If the dollar collapses, silver will go up. But we also have a massive silver shortage as well. See, the first thing I mentioned, the silver going up, the dollar collapses, that's also beneficial to gold. That's why gold is also a great investment. But you also have this other side of things for silver. So if you say there's no potential or won't do much, you are completely making you're either lying to yourself, lying to the public because you have some type of biased opinion, probably said before that silver won't do much, and you're trying to push your ego and trying to be the smartest guy in the room, which is actually going to make you the silliest guy in the room because it makes no sense. There's no claim that makes any sense to why silver wouldn't do good or be successful when every indicator is pointing towards that it will. It just makes no sense. I could sit in the bar next to a guy to my left and I could ask him, give me 10 reasons why silver won't do good in the foreseeable future and give me 10 reasons why the dollar will or why stocks will. And I guarantee I could name 10 reasons why the dollar won't by the time the guy is even saying his first word about his 10 reasons why silver won't. I mean, it's a baseless claim. I'm a realist. So I'm trying to be real. Anyways, sorry I went on that rant. You know, I feel like that was a good rant though. You know, sometimes I like to go a little unhinged and go off text, but that's a lot of times when the best stuff is said, the most real stuff is said. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe because I post daily. And if you wanted to purchase some silver while it's still on a huge discount, then email me, slayer@milesfranklin.com, or call me 330-485-6172. But do not lock in an order with me unless you are 1010% going to pay it, because once I lock that order in, it is an official trade. And if we have to break or cancel that order, the losses fall back on me, for I'm the one locking it in. I'm the broker. This isn't a little rinky-dinky type of situation, right? This is a legit business, one of the biggest precious metals companies. I feel like some people don't understand that like if I write up an invoice for you, oh, it's just nothing, I don't have to pay it, I could pay it if I want to. No, like that's a legit trade. Like this isn't a little game, and the losses fall back on me, and I've had to pay more money than I even want to admit. It makes me disgusted that all of my paycheck is getting taken away because someone else said a huge number of silver they want to buy and then just don't pay it, right? I don't make much. I mean, you got to think, if we're selling Buffalo rounds at $235 over spot and we get them at wholesale, which is not much less than that because we're trying to get good prices, then I don't make much off each sale. So if I have to pay a $650 loss because someone else just randomly said they want to buy $11,000 worth and don't pay the invoice, that's messed up. So please do not lock an order in unless you're going to pay it. I'm a man of my word, and I expect you to be as well. So please. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys tomorrow or later today. I got to start posting more. So yeah, because I have bills to pay as well. All right. Peace.